Dear members of the Israeli Business Club, dear friends of Israel, I'm very pleased that we were able to win the Israeli minister, Mr. Ofir Akunis, for our interview series. In addition, Professor Peter Frankenberg has also agreed to participate in this interview. Peter Frankenberg is a former German Minister of Science and the chairman of the shareholders of the Dieter Schwartz Foundation. Dear Mr. Akunis, dear Minister, welcome to today's interview series of the International Israeli Business Club. Dear Mr. Minister, can you describe the current situation in Israel to us? Perhaps also some information about the hostages and about some information about the ceasefire, how long it will take, and other informations you have.
First of all, thank you for hosting me. We appreciate your support. I think that it's very important to the Israeli people and to our forces in Gaza Strip and in the other places, as you know, in the north and in the Red Sea as well. You asked about the actually the current deal between Israel and Qatar with the Americans as well. And actually we are in the last days of the ceasefire, and I will tell you why. The Israeli cabinet approved last week the deal between us and actually the Qatarians and the Americans, and we already actually the Hamas already released almost 50 hostages, where we want all of them to be here in Israel. And I want to give you an example with your permission. I want to show you a picture of Yair Yaakov. Yair Yaakov is 59 years old, okay? They released his two little kids, 16 years old and almost 13 years old. And we want Yair, their father, to be with his family as well. So we'll continue in the next, let's say, 48 hours, what we call the deal between the sides. And I am sure that, and I know that we are doing everything that we can, that we'll see Yair and the other hostages in Israel as soon as possible, as I said, with the involvement of the Americans and the Qatarians and the Egyptians as well. And for your question, actually we are in the middle, or maybe in the beginning of a war, and between us and Hamas organization, actually with one of the cruelest terror organizations that we can face them these days and in the last 20 years. But it's not only our war. I think that Israel and Hamas war is a clash of civilizations, and we are just, you know, just the little Satan. You are the Germans and the Europeans, the middle Satan, and the Americans are the big Satan in their eyes, of course. And this is our war. It's the West world against the barbaric jihad.
Absolutely. I agree absolutely. By the way, before I ask a further question, Peter Frankenberg is apologizing for some technical reason. He's now on the way in his car, and he's trying to get in on Zoom, but for some reason it is not working, but he's on the speakerphone now. Okay. So Peter, have you heard everything?
I have heard everything. Very well.
So dear members of the IBC, you see we are live. So I have a further question to Mr. Akunis.
Yeah, please.
Mr. Akunis, can you tell us from your perspective, but also from the perspective of the Israeli government, which you represent now, why a two-state solution is currently not possible, so that our members here can receive this information from the first hand?
Yeah, I will tell you. First of all, we need to say the facts and the truth. And the truth is that the land of Israel is ours. This is a very small land between the Mediterranean and the Jordan Valley. And this is our ancient homeland, in Judea, Samaria, the Golan Heights, and the other places, Upper Galilee, Negev, until Eilat in the south. This is the historical homeland of the Jewish people. This is an historical fact. Now to the security issues. We cannot afford tunnels from the Palestinian state to big cities in the center of Israel, like, I don't know if you know the names, Kfar Saba, Ra'anana, Netanya, to Ben Gurion Airport, because it's so close to what in the imagination of some, some people, they will establish the Palestinian state on this current territory. It's very close to our international airport and to other big cities, in Be'er Sheva in the south and Afula in the north. So we don't want that Israel will stand again in a situation that tunnels from this Palestinian state, or missile rockets, actually, I have to tell you, missile rockets as well. They will throw them from the Palestinian state to our cities. And I think that we need a secure borders. We must have secure borders. And if we will withdraw from Judea and Samaria, and we will establish, it's not us, okay, the international community put us under pressure to establish a Palestinian state, I'm sure that we will not get a peace. We'll find ourselves in a new war, another one after October 7th. This is unacceptable. I think that the majority of the Israelis, I have to tell you, even before October 7th, but of course, right after, the horrific pictures that we saw in our kibbutzim, in our cities, Sderot, Ofakim, Netivot, near the border with Gaza, I think that a huge majority of the Israelis will stand very strongly against the idea of a Palestinian state.
Thank you so much. You are absolutely right, and I think this explanation is very good, so that the people also here, but also the members in general of the IBC, get sensitive for this topic.
No, I want to ask you something, Tomorrow it's November 29th. In November 29th, 1947, we all know the the UN resolution actually to establish two states, like you said, here. Then in 1947, it was the UN resolution 181. You know it, yes? Okay, you know the resolution. We accepted, okay, the Zionist movement accepted, and the Arab, they started a war. Actually, it was our independence war for almost 1 year, okay? Why? Why did they say no to an independent state? Then in 1947, this is my question. Why? Because they don't want to live beside us. They want to live instead of the Jewish country, of the Jewish state, instead of Israel. So they missed their historical opportunity, and now we will not make the mistake again. We established the PA, Palestinian Authority, in 1993, right after we signed the Oslo Agreement. I was against it as an Israeli, by the way, citizen, not as a politician. I was 19 years old, 20 years old. Why? Because that was a huge danger to the security of the Israeli people. Because we brought the terrorist Yasser Arafat, and we asked him to be the leader of the Palestinian Authority, and we got terror attack after terror attack after terror attack, until we found ourselves in a situation like we saw in the horrific Shabbat in October 7.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think never again is now.
You're right.
And these people who are also telling we support Israel and who are telling never again is now.
You're right. You know, I want to tell you another thing. I think that when I mentioned the clash of civilizations, I think that you must know in Germany, in Italy, in United Kingdom, in Australia, down under, in United States, you saw the horrific pictures. They took the American flag in Lexington Avenue and the Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, and they put the Palestinian PLO flag instead of the American flag. Now it's symbolic. It's just a symbol to what they want. They want, and I said in actually a very short clip, I said 4 weeks ago, they want your heads. They want your country. They want your state. They don't want to live with you. They want to live, instead of you. And that's what they did here in Israel. And that's what they want to do in Germany, in Europe, and in United States as well. And this is the main idea of the radical Islamic Jihad. You must understand it.
Absolutely. And I think what's also very, very important to mention, the Hamas, they did not attack only the Israeli soldiers. They attacked civilians, babies, women. What
Right.
does this has to do with war or
I will tell you.
politics? They attack children, women.
I mentioned Yair Yaakov, but we can mention babies 10 years old, 10 months. This is unbelievable. Women, Holocaust survivors, 85 years old. So we are talking about a baby, 10 months old, and the woman, 85 years old, and men and other, and they attacked. That was something very, horrific. They started with the military bases, and then they went to and actually kidnapped civilians. I think that every human being in the world must stand up and say to them, to the Hamas, and actually to Iran, I have to tell you, stop it, and stop it right now, and bring all the hostages back to their homes now.
I absolutely agree with you. This is why I do not understand also sometimes some media who are criticizing Israel. But what would other states, not only Germany, what would other states do if such things would happen in Germany and other countries? What happened on the 7th October in Israel? So Israel is a smaller country than Germany. So on one day, over 1,300 civilians were killed in Israel. We have in Germany 81 million people. So when you imagine that over 5,000-6,000 civilians,
right,
babies, women, older people were killed within one day. What other governments would do? The same.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I think that, I don't know if you know, that the first missile attack on Israel, it was in 2001. So we are talking about 22 years of missiles attacks against our civilians in the south. And you remember the 70s and the 80s and the Second Lebanon War. So there is actually a similar threat from the north. Everything is under Iranian control. You should know it.
Dear Mr. Akunis, before I have a furthermore question, but let me try. Peter, you hear me? You hear us?
Hello, Peter. Yeah.
So, Peter, do we have? Let us try it technically. Do you have some question or say hello to Ofir Akunis?
Yes, hello.
Hello, Peter. Good afternoon. Hello.
And I hope that you find solutions for the very difficult situation in crushing the military structure of Hamas and on the other side freeing the hostages.
You heard it, everything?
Yes.
I did not. Yeah, please.
Yes. So okay, Peter, something else?
I want to say something to Peter and to actually the German people. Thank you for your support. It's not obvious. Your leadership, all of them are standing beside Israel, standing with Israel, and I want to appreciate it. Thank you so much from here.
Thank you very much. It's also support for our own values.
I agree. You're right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Akunis, what can we, as German people, as the Israeli Business Club, what we can do as German people to support Israel much more? Do we have some ideas or advices? What can we do? Because we want to do more.
Actually, you are doing
especially our members.
As I said, you are doing a lot. You have our full appreciation. We need you in the United Nations, in the general security. We need you in every international activity, and in the European Union as well, in the European Parliament as well. And of course, the public declaration and the public opinion is very important to us. And I think that if you can continue to stand beside us, it will be very good for us. And of course, I think that the direct and I have to tell you honest relationship between your leadership and our leadership, it's so important to us here in Israel.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Akunis. Thank you so much for taking your time.
Thank you all. Thank you.
We wish you, your family, and our Israeli friends all the best. And Mr. Akunis, I hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.
I hope to see you soon. All the best, and
I hope to see you soon here in Jerusalem.
Absolutely.
I want to invite you.
I will come again.
I want to invite you, Peter, and the other audience to the Knesset, to our parliament in Jerusalem, and to travel all across the country. It's not so big country, so we can do it very quickly.
But a great country. Peter, yes. Repeat. Peter, repeat.
I know your country, and I'm very pleased. So looking from Hebrew University, you can see nearly all of your country, and you see how necessary
Thank you so much.
this small country in this world and under these circumstances.
Thank you.
This is what you should know, and also communicate to the Israeli government. We stand beside you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, then thank you so much. And Peter, thank you so much. I will call you later, Peter.
Thank you.
It was very interesting. Thank you so much.